I've been trapped in my own apartment for 5 days already. Hey guys, what's up? It is the Culture Detective here, investigating your favorite movies. And today I'm going to talk about another Oscar nominated movie because I have to at least do 7 reviews on the 9 nominated movies. Otherwise, I'm dumb. So I'm going to talk about Marriage Story. Um, wow. I cried twice in the movie. Well, technically, if the tear stays in the eye and doesn't count, then I cried once. But honestly, I teared up twice. Yeah. Or maybe it's just me because I've been pretty emotional lately. I've been pretty moody lately. Maybe it's just me. I don't know, but I cried twice. And even though I'm not married, I'm just a teen. I'm very moved by the story. So, Marriage Story is written and directed by Noah Baumbach. He is also the guy behind the Meyerowitz stories, which stars Adam Sandler in a pretty serious role. And for the people who think Adam Sandler can't act, check him out in this movie as well. Of course, you get Uncut Gems and you get Punch Drunk Love by PTA as well. And he's also the guy behind Frances Ha, which stars his now wife, Greta Gerwig. And he's also the guy behind The Squid and the Whale. But I think it is a Marriage Story where his work finally shine to its fullest and be recognized worldwide. So the plot of this movie is actually about a divorce between Charlie, played by Adam Driver, and Nicole, played by Scarlett Johansson. And yeah, the movie is just a divorce. And it is 2 hours and 17 minutes long. But the pacing is never really an issue here because we really see the story progress. Them deciding to divorce at first, trying to get a mediator, but failing, and then getting lawyers, getting divorce papers, and the whole courtroom thing, and then the whole resolution, and all this process. Divorce is actually way more complicated than I thought. But still, right from the start, I'm hooked to the story because it just feels like a humane and very touching and realistic and grounded story with characters that I really invest in. And also, the story is about a divorce between a husband and a wife. And what I really appreciate about this movie is that this movie shows both sides pretty much equally. Equal amount of screen time for Adam Driver, equal amount of screen time for Scarlett Johansson. And yeah, the dialogues, as always, given that it is Noah Baumbach, we get some of the most realistic dialogues ever written for a movie, which is incredibly impressive. Usually, for movies involving a divorce, you'd think and you'd expect it's going to be two people arguing, fighting, throwing things, and yelling. I mean, there are a couple of scenes where that happens, but in this movie, most of the time, it's just them having a conversation, being friendly with one another, which is incredibly realistic, but in the inside, you can really feel the tension. You can really feel that they love each other, but they can't be with each other at the same time. It's a really complicated feeling, and this movie just portrays that really incredibly well. The situations in this movie, they are again really grounded, really realistic. They can be very serious and very dramatic, but this movie doesn't over dramatize anything. Or Noah Baumbach sprinkled some comedy into the writing in this movie, which I also think made this movie incredibly realistic as well. And as far as the production goes, this movie is simple. It's plain. A lot of the walls are just white. A lot of the props are just simple, nothing all that fancy. And this just makes us focus on these two main characters more. Which leads to another thing that I really love about the movie, of course, the performances. Both Adam Driver and ScarJo are fantastic in this movie. Probably their greatest performances in their entire career yet. It's so fantastic. I never saw each one of them reach such emotional heights, but yet perform something so humane. And this movie is also really detailed when it comes to divorce, meaning that they're gonna get lawyers and the whole nuisance of, trying to get lawyers, trying to hire lawyers before your other counterpart hires them, trying to deal with divorce papers, different subjects like living in this place or living in that place, school district, which city are the family in, and it gets super complicated. They even need an evaluator to observe the relationship between Charlie and the kid and Nicole and the kid, because the case just went so far. But that's what I really love about this movie, is that it goes so detailed that it makes any other movies about relationships in this world super shallow. Noah Baumbach is a really great writer here, and even though it is a really, really grounded movie, it's not boring. It's not a slow burn at all. Towards the end of the movie, we get two singing numbers. Yes, two singing numbers. One from Nicole's side, one from Charlie's side. And Nicole's singing number is fun. It's lighthearted. It has a lot of friends around her, and Charlie's singing number is long, it's slow, it's theatrical, but it's emotional and it's feeling driven. And again, it just says a lot about these two characters. Also, this movie also feels like a battle between New York and LA, and Charlie really feels like a New Yorker, while Nicole feels really like a Los Angeles person. Very well written indeed. And the scene in the middle of the movie, the argument scene, iconic. Even though it's just two people arguing, but you can really feel the tension and the emotions rising, and them just sort of fighting and attacking one another to a point where one of them crossed the line and felt sorry about it. And it's just so painful, so heartbreaking, and I just really appreciate the acting in that scene. This is the scene that got me tearing up, but the real scene that made me tear up even harder is the ending scene when Charlie decided to read Nicole's writing on what she appreciates about Charlie, which sort of throws back to the beginning of the movie, where we get two montages where Charlie sort of talks about what he appreciates about Nicole, and Nicole sort of talks about what he appreciates about Charlie but never told Charlie about it. And so Charlie read it at the end, and when he was trying to hold in the tears, but he just can't, and his lower lip sort of quivers, and his hand sort of shakes, and then Scarjo in the back watching it, but Charlie not knowing that Scarjo is watching, like that was so emotional for me, and I teared up in that scene, legit. So yeah, it's a fantastic movie. Maybe I'll enjoy it even better if I'm married. I'm not. I'm not even in a romantic relationship because I'm a loser. But still, this movie is so well written. It's so emotional, and you can really tell that Charlie and Nicole love each other truly, but they just don't work. They just don't match, and that's why they need to get a divorce, not because they fell out of love. And it's brilliantly portrayed. Kind of feeling a 9 out of 10 for this. So, have you seen Marriage Story? From 1 to 10, how much did you rate it? Like if you like it, and subscribe if you want more. And thanks for watching. Also, I may review Jojo Rabbit tomorrow. Yay.